A transactions affirmed among the UK by the government and the breeze production will provide 30% of power comes of offshore breeze by 2030. The GO will assist the UK to an aim of providing nearly all its force of cheap carbon source by 2030. It is the newest in a episode of agreements in sectors of the economics how are potential to build jobs. But environmentalists are wonder wherever the some 70% of the UK's pure power will go of. How is since, for several years, by the government economists include stipulated a three-pronged power politics by 2030. At first force of planet's largest breeze farmer, so which are the next power source? Civilian service staff include designed how 30% of power would go of offshore breeze, 30% of nuke and 30% of gas force stations adjusted in technique to seize their carbon sequestration emissions and hide them. But there is the fact, it is now affirmed how breeze will perform its portion by 2030. But plans to extend nuke are foundering. Really the UK may end up at lowest in Fair 1 new nuke plant, at Hinkley, instead of the Plan 6. As for gas in carbon sequestration seas, down there is just a solitary such a force factory plan at business scope. And how is jammed in the suggestion phase. By the government promises it will encounter pledges to hold the lights on and cut emissions. Its obligation is for offshore breeze to make 30 gigawatt, by 2030, creation thousands of as-called verdant neck jobs in the trial. Youthful human beings are particularly brought to jobs in the environmental segment. But verdant groups trust lot more than is necessary, perhaps part as lot once again, 45 gigawatt. Which do environmentalists tell? John Savin, execution CEO of Greenpeace UK, told, currently by the government's plans for a navy of new nuke reactors has compressed, it foliage Britain in a big power gap in next. It tool the newest offshore breeze goal of 30 gigawatt by 2030 is sadly inappropriate. Breeze and sunny must be tripled among now and 2030, in offshore breeze the next spine of the UK's power framework. Rachel Reeves, armchair of the House of Commons Industry, Power and Industry Policy, BICE, Board told, invest decisions above nuke seedling such as Moorside and Wolfa include leftward the UK cladding a gigantic opening in its power politics. Taking into account how filthy charcoal is due to go away line, and the prospects for nuke looking vague, it's urgent by the government comes striker in a Schedule B to pin the power space. Are down there alternatives? Several analysts are more than weakened. Richard Darke of the Believe Tank Power and Environment Intellect Block, ECIU, thinks 3 new nuke seedling are potential and he believes the marketplace will kind out the 2030 issue. Natural gas will be provided on 15%, and down there'll be a bit of phytomass on the framework too much. As for the otherwise, new coastal breeze as necessary no grant, and offshore breeze and sunny are at the tip spot of creature grant free. So it's sensible to wait all 3 to be constructed via the outdoor marketplace.